Hello, ladies and gents. Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Greenleaf Season 3, Episode 8. This is the episode I've been waiting for. When I tell you, Lord, let me get to this and then get back to work. So let's start this off. Zora is leaving. That's why I entitled the entire first part of this episode, because Zora's leaving. She's going. And Lady May's saying, you can't go. You have to, what about Sophia? You're not even going to talk to Sophia? Zora said, Sophia doesn't care if I'm there or not. And I'm grown. I'm 18, remember? There's nothing you can do to stop me. Of course, she goes and reaches out to Jacob and Carissa. They're on their way. And I mean, Lady May was throwing the book. She was like, Lord, why would you go? Someone that would abuse you. Why would you go? And why would you go and this and that? Nothing was working. So at this time, I said, whose car is that? Because I remember Isaiah's car. I said, that's not his car. This is when, oh my God, Jacob and Carissa, they show up. And they're thinking that, oh, she's going and she's coming home, and this Lady May didn't know about it. And because they were saying how, look, sorry May, but we didn't inform you. Actually, she's coming home with us. And Zora was just like, what are you talking about? As they were trying to figure out where is she walking, here comes Isaiah's car, because he has a BMW. Here comes Isaiah's car. And I said, oh, Lord, here we go. She was like, open up the trunk. We have to go. I'm thinking it's not going to be that quick of an exit. Next thing we know, Jacob's like, And so Isaiah, he actually gets out of his car because he wants to go and film Jacob to say, hey, oh, so you're going to do something to me now? I'm thinking, wait a minute. So are we saying that Isaiah is still underage and Zora is legal? Is that what's going on here? Because I understand, if he fights him, he could lose everything. I get that. But is that the main thing? Because, of course, she was trying to calm him down. He was on his Instagram live filming this. So then Jacob said, okay, that's how you want to go? Fine. Here's how this actually goes. To all your fans, you are an abuser. You beat up young girls and you're trash. And you know what? I hate you once and I'll do it again. I'm saying, Jacob, this is the type of energy I need right now. But then Zora's able to get into the car, and Carissa was like, wait, because originally Lady May was trying to talk to her. That wasn't working. So then Carissa said, can I talk to my own child, please? Lady May was like, okay. So then Carissa, she tried her hardest. She tried her darnest. And she was saying, look, I love you. I don't know what happened, but just come home. We can talk about this. We can fix this. You don't deserve this type of treatment from this man. What's going on with you? And it didn't work. And I felt so bad for her because I already knew what this meant. I already knew that this meant that Carissa was going to have a mental breakdown. Zora goes, speeds off, leaves with Isaiah. She looks a little guilty, but they still speed off. And before that, Carissa gave Zora her phone back. It was like, here, just keep this on you. Isaiah took that phone, flinged it out of his side of the car. And so she's like, oh my God, she's really gone. But before that even happened, because it was just so much, Charity came through right before they left. I was like, oh, hey guys, let's go. Oh, is that the whole Isaiah? No, don't make me call. I say, that's right. Keep the same energy. Let's go. So they had to stop Charity. Now he goes, speeds off. Now Carissa's crushed. So now, let's see. Tasha Skanks actually sent Jacob a text, and Jacob's been ignoring it. He actually not only ignored it, he deleted it. That's important for a little bit later. Now, Bishop has no idea what's going on at the house. He has no idea what's going on at the house. He's just there with Percy. They're having general chit-chat, trying to figure out what his next moves are going to be. And Percy's also saying, Charity's doing a good job. And I said, I see where this is going. At some point, Carissa did say to Lady Mae, look, something to the effect of, you look at what happened to not just her kids in general, but look what happened to Faith, or I'm not going to let what happened to Faith happen to my daughter. Essentially saying, your daughter died. Regardless of the reason your daughter died, that was to a certain extent on your watch. So let me handle mine. She apologizes for that later, but we get to Gigi. Gigi's talking to her client, the female inmate who is being charged with murder for killing her husband. And Gigi's just like, look, I'm going to do everything I can to try and help you out. We're getting you out of here. Here's Miss Rochelle. She's aiding me with all of this. Now we get to Jacob, Carissa, and Lady Mae. And Carissa's on the phone calling Isaiah's parents, trying to do everything she can, and she's using Jacob's phone. So maybe it was her phone that she gave to Zora. And so she was like, can I just keep this? And Jacob's like, well, we can send you, go to the store, get another one. She's like, our daughter's missing. You want me to go shop? It's because his side piece is texting. So he can't have the side piece go and send a message. Jacob is such a mess. Now, Lady Mae is going to go with her to Isaiah's parents' home. Or I guess the home that Isaiah lives in, that maybe his parents lives in with him, since Isaiah at this point is probably the breadwinner. It's messed up when it comes to that situation, and your kids are brats. All right. So now Bishop, he talks to Charity, because remember, Charity is still doing some work on the behalf of, well, more so like volunteering on the behalf of Percy. And so that's when Charity was like, Daddy, what are you doing there? Do you not know what happened? And so now he knows that Zora is gone, and he talks to Lady Mae. Lady Mae was so dismissive and so rude. I said, dang. Oh, it's so hard to deal with Lady Mae sometimes. Lady Mae had this whole thing of, you're not under this house, you're not under this roof. You care more about your image and looking like you want to do something about it and care about it than actually being about it. That's essentially what she was saying. And I was thinking, Lady Mae, are we talking about you right now or Bishop? That was my first thing. And then second, she said, look, be still. Don't do anything essentially that you would regret or that would make things worse. Thinking, well, you did a pretty good job yourself. So now Gigi, Rochelle, they're talking to the client, the woman, and Rochelle says she has connections at CPS. I'm thinking, how does she have all these dang connections? How does she have all these dang connections? And so she's going to see if she can get visitation rights for the woman to at least see her children. Now, and then Mae and Carissa, they go to Isaiah's house and parents' house. Let's see. And guess who eventually shows up? It's actually... So at this time, they're just at the house. Nothing major has popped off. Lady Mae feels like, how does it feel being the parents of a son who is so young and already an abuser, and I guess not doing whatever they need to do to get a hold of him? But look, he's grown. He's making his own money. What can they really do? They can lay hands on him, but he can leave. Clearly, whatever they needed to instill didn't stick or was never instilled. Now we have Tasha and Jacob. Oh, Tasha was like, what, Jacob, what's going on? I couldn't hear from you. Well, it's Zora. She left the house and she left with Isaiah, and we're just trying to figure that out. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And Jacob had to tell her, this is over. I'm sorry for leading you on, but this is over. And I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel. I definitely feel like, look, she was the one who decided to go and open her legs to Jacob, so she has to deal with the consequences, especially since she was trying to go against him from the start. But I think I'm more so irritated with Jacob because she's talking to him and she's getting upset because he's just like, I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong impression. We can't do this. It's like, I have a wife, you have a husband. What? Why is this even happening right now? I'm looking at him like, dude, really? Really? You of all people are saying that? You of all people are saying that. She grew to like you and you're doing what you always do. Now that things at home, you need to put the focus on there. Now you can't go mess around with her. Now you have your head screwed on straight and you go and say, look, I'm your boss. So that's just that. And I said, oh, well, that goes out of the window when you open up your employee's legs and both of you are married. So she was super pissed about that. Bishop comes in and that's when they have to make up this excuse of, oh, I'm just comforting her because her friend died or she lost a friend. That's what Jacob said to Bishop. And she just seemed really over it. So Bishop was just looking at her like, I can leave. I can most certainly leave. And then we see Bishop was talking about the whole Zora thing and Jacob was rude. He was very rude to Bishop. He essentially said, look, we're trying to handle this right now. We're trying to do this right now. I mean, you're off doing whatever. And I'm thinking, Jacob, you are one nasty, mean-spirited person. It makes sense that you and Carissa are a pair. But now I see how this works. For a second, I felt sorry for you. Not for you going and cheating, but just, I said, Carissa, ooh, she's tough. But now I partially see why. Because you are in your own way. It's just that you don't do it the same way, but now we're seeing it. And that's what Bishop had to say. All that anger you have that you're placing on me, you need to go and check yourself and correct yourself because it's not me, son. It's not me. Fix your life, essentially. Gigi is talking to the district attorney. And I told you in the last episode, in the last recap, that this man was trying to threaten Gigi. And he came out and said, hey, this woman is guilty. She killed her husband. It was premeditated. She deserves to go to jail. If she goes and pleads guilty, she'll get 20 years and then, they'll reevaluate at the 15-year mark. That's a great deal considering someone who went and killed her husband and is a murderer. And then he flipped it on Grace saying, you're just like her. I can see why you'd want to go and help her. You're just like her. You want to go and help her because you're the type of person that goes, stabs their uncle. And it's interesting because even though I went and said that it was justified, I didn't really think that it was justified. I just did that to get along. I just did that, to do, because I said, you know what? Bad's bad, evil's evil. Figured take out one person and free the other one. Essentially, I think he allowed Grace, like I said, because of her position, and also Mac was brought up on, like sexual assault charges, sexual abuse, rape, molestation, the whole gambit. So I think that he didn't think too much of Mac. If he did, he probably would have thrown the book at Grace, because then he goes and says, and now after you got away, now you see this other woman who did something similar or essentially the same thing, but you want to go and save her. You, the same person who, I know you said that it was in self-defense, but your daughter was missing and so I thought it was premeditated too. But like I said, I did you a solid. What I'm not going to do is allow women to, in this Me Too era, to go and just think that they can wage war on men and kill all these men and get away with it. That's what's not going to happen. So trust and believe, if you pursue this case, your client won't be the only one that'll be on trial. And Grace was shook. She was shook. Rochelle came in like, what's wrong? Grace said, no, that's it, Grace. It's written all over your face. You're the world's worst liar. Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back. Just like we all thought. We all thought you were going to get in trouble when you killed Mac. Anyway, Charity is working with a widow because remember, she's still volunteering at Percy's. and she's doing a really great job, really consoling, really loving, really nurturing, which is the charity that we remember. Grace and her client, the client has a separate attorney, lawyer. That lawyer's trash. He's basically probably like a glorified public defender, and he has 12 other cases or 11 other cases, and he's upset because he's like, look, it's 20 years. It's 20 years and 15-year mark. You could be up potentially for parole. And the woman said, I have young kids. They'll be adults by the time I get out of jail. Realistically, they won't know me. They won't. No. And so she was like, can I have some time? And the guy was like, what's wrong with you? I mean, these charges are bad. Essentially, take them or leave them. And so then Grace said, you're her lawyer. You're supposed to give her some time, consideration, tell her what all her options are. Because he was like, it was either you go to jail or you take the 20 years. That's what he was saying it to her. So then Grace said, look, maybe we need to go and find a different representation. And she's just like, you know what? That'd be great, because at least I can go and work with other clients, or my other 11 clients that are willing to listen to me. I said, willing to throw their lives away? Oh, okay. All right. We're going to put charges on you as well, sir. You just don't know it yet. Thank you. Now, Jacob and Bishop. Oh, I think I already discussed the Jacob and Bishop part, where Jacob was going in on Bishop, and then Bishop said, you need to control that anger and stop just throwing darts and understand that sometimes it's not everyone else. Rochelle and Grace. Now, Grace wanted to know how is Rochelle able to do all of this stuff, because Rochelle said that she was able to get the woman to see her kids, which she did. And so that's when Rochelle said, oh, fine, I know you don't trust me. I was a big sister. What? Yes, I was in the program, and then I was also a big sister. Now, and essentially it sounds like she, along with 4 other women, stayed in touch and really help each other out. They're in different pockets of, employment. And so one person works here, one person works here. One hand scratches the other, essentially, is what Rochelle's saying, why she's able to get all these things done, because she has the connections, because she was through big sister, foster. That's the thing. We have to remember, Rochelle's father was killed. So I guess, is this confirming that she got put in foster care then, instead of another family member taking her? And the client, after seeing her kids, said, I can't leave my kids. I can't leave my babies. Now, Zora gets a picture book from, I guess, her husband, as Trina Braxton would say. Actually, no, it was never her husband. It was her potential husband, boyfriend. Not even her boyfriend anymore, because the picture book was showing just their lives together. And then the last picture was of them at the college that they were supposed to go to, and it said, I miss you. But I was thinking, maybe she doesn't miss him. Maybe it's too much of a reminder of her old life. That's probably the issue. Church, her boyfriend, everything is a reminder of the old life that she thought she was going to have, that was planned out, that was perfect, and now that it's not. Zora and Carissa are able to talk again, because Isaiah drove to his house. I'm not even going to say his parents' house. His house, where his parents happen to live, to go and grab a couple of things and head out. Where? We don't know. What we do know is Carissa was able to speak to Zora. Zora said, I'll give you 1 minute. I said, you little freaking brat. Okay, fine. Carissa said, look, I apologize, because when Carissa was talking to Zora the first time, she was using a lot of I, me, my. Instead of probably allowing Zora to excuse me, flourish or fail on her own merit, Carissa walked her daughter through life, and this is a really good lesson to learn. Parents, potential parents, guardians alike, do not go and just tell your children what they're going to be, what they're going to do, and who they are. Because trust and believe, the moment the child realizes, whatever stage of life, that they actually have options and other choices, they're gonna go and do some stupid stuff. And it doesn't have to be stuff that'll get them into trouble, but they'll just go and do some stupid stuff just because. It's about nurturing who they are and, you know, guiding them as best as you can so that they don't go and screw themselves over along the way. Carissa almost strong-armed her daughter through most of life, and so now her daughter's rebelling. Now, so when she says that, you know how much worth you have, you know how much I love you, you know how much you deserve better, you know how much when you're first born you looked at me and you didn't cry, but I knew that look meant that you needed me. And the thing is, yes, she'll always need you to a certain extent. The problem is that she needs to find herself. Unfortunately, she needs to find herself. And what we're finding out is she's not the only one that needs to find herself. And because of that, Zora still left anyway. She's still left anyway, as in the car, and Carissa realized there's nothing. Because Carissa had to walk away. She finally did what she should have done a little while ago. She needed to walk away, and she said, I'm not going to go and just chase you around and make you feel like, okay, you can just do whatever you want. That's what's not going to happen moving forward. And so now she's going to have to wash her hands of this situation. Of course, we know she'll be there for her daughter. But like I said, you can't just walk someone through life. They have to learn certain things on their own, unfortunately. Bishop returns home, and Lady May Ray changed the access codes to... This is the night before, people. The access codes to the gate, and so when the security guard comes out, it's like, hey dude, why is it changed? I'm thinking, Bishop, really? You don't know why it's changed? So now she goes in, but they don't have a conversation yet. We hear Lady May playing the piano. I said, okay, go Miss Linwoodfield. Oh yeah, and he does confront Lady May, and their conversation was essentially, she started out with kind of the blame thing of, look, you were out of this house because you need to be out of this house because of your actions, and now your granddaughter is gone. There wasn't anything for you to do that you could really do anyway. You just wanted to feel needed. You just wanted to feel a part of it. I'm thinking, that's his granddaughter. Of course he wanted to be a part. But for a moment, she acknowledges, as parents, they both messed up. They both messed up their kids. They couldn't give their kids what they wanted, because when Lady May and Carissa were talking, Lady May was telling Carissa in the car that she realizes that kids have to go through their own stuff. She realizes that she couldn't save her kids from experiencing certain things she would have never wanted for them, and they had to learn certain things on their own, and basically she gets that now. So she was telling that to Bishop too, but she was also saying, look, you made your choice, that's why you're out of the house, that's why you're not coming back, and I just want you to know that if you want a friend, talk to Jesus. I said, oh my God, Lady May, stop it. Why would you say? Why would you say? Oh my goodness. Oh wow. 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 And then the next thing we have going on, Jacob and Tasha. Jacob apologizes to Tasha and says everything that's going on in his life, he put in that moment where he yelled at her and, you know, was rude to her, he put the blame on her, so he apologizes. She accepts the apology, but makes it very clear that, Jacob, moving forward, you don't have to worry about me, because she packed up. And I'm thinking, Jacob is so slow sometimes, because I knew instantly that she was packing up, and it took him after he was done talking to realize that she was packing up her things and leaving. And she's leaving because she likes him. She likes him too much. They're both married, and she just understands that her feelings for him aren't going to change just because he wants the situation to change between them. And she apologizes. He's like, what did you do? I'm thinking, well, you're gonna see what she did soon enough. Charity and Percy are talking, and I like this conversation because Percy told her that, hey, you have real talent for this. He actually paid her, and he even offered her a job at his funeral home to take over because he sees something in her. And she was like, look, honestly, thank you for the check, even though I didn't need a check for this. He was like, no, you did work, you deserve it. And the thing is, I'm sure he was like, maybe if I show her the fruits of her labor, it would also help. What matters in this is that Charity acknowledges that it was nice having someone believe in her and trust in her to do something and do something important to validate her. But she doesn't know if she's strong enough to go and deal with something like this on a daily basis. And he said, you're a lot stronger than you think. And I just think Percy was there more so to help Charity than anything else. I said, is Percy sick? Because, some of the older people don't tell you they're sick until one foot's gone. Anyway, May and Charity. What? I'm not sure why I had May and Charity. I know that they had some general conversation. I don't know if it was anything having to do with placing blame. I'm not sure what that conversation was about, though. Carissa and Jacob. That wasn't a conversation. Jacob came home, and Carissa, she was out of it. She didn't cook. She just had the picture book of Zora. She was done. She didn't want to be touched. So I said, Lord, now Jacob's going to really think about what's her face. Tasha. Sophia and Gigi. So Gigi finally gets home from a hard day's work, and she's in the darkness. Sophia says, hey, can we talk? Sophia doesn't want to go to that Christian college. She doesn't want to go to any Christian college. I said, oh, Lord, okay. So not only does she not want to go to a Christian college, now she's basically saying she's not sure if she wants to go to college. And she's a little irked that Zora gets to do whatever she wants, but she is seen as having to be more accountable, even though she's going to be 18 as well. I said, Grace, learn from this. And so Grace did the right thing. She backed off. And said, okay, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Because right now, we just need to keep one child in the house. It's that bad. It is that bad. And the episode ends with Percy talking to Bishop. And I think Percy says something to the effect of, some people, when there's an avalanche, and they watch instead of do everything they can to get out of the way. And I guess he was saying that to Bishop, but I don't think that's what Bishop wanted to hear. So then Bishop did it prior, and that was the end of the episode. Please like, comment, subscribe, come back, and watch my other stuff too. Star, Empire, Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe, and come back.